In this episode, we're going to talk about how do you go and condition your mind for greater levels of achievement and success in all areas of your life, personally and professionally, in your health, in your wealth, in your love, your interactions, in your happiness, in your joy in life. How do you condition your brain? Look at how it works. How does our mind operate? And how can you boost it? How can you upgrade it? How can you condition it with a new way of thinking so you're able to achieve more in your life? Welcome to episode 29 of the Accelerated Achievement Show. The first thing we have to understand if we want to go and change how we think is understanding this. Our thoughts, the things that we think every single day, as well as what drives it, which is our beliefs, what we believe about the world around us, often is not our own. Often we're attached to our beliefs. We go, hey, this belief, that's who I am. We're attached to it, yet that belief, in fact, pretty much all beliefs you have are not often your own. Often they've come from your parents, they've come from teachers in school, they have come from guardians, they've come from your friends, they've come from your upbringing. All of this stuff has created a way of thinking, and it's often before, and not so much nowadays in today's modern, more technologically advanced, more informational world we live in, but before, it would be that the child would often grow up like the parent, would go into the same occupation, would live a similar life. Today, with the far widespread of information, it's not so present. Today, we have a bigger option, a bigger range because of this new information, which also creates beliefs. The first thing, if we want to be able to recondition ourselves for greater success, which means if you're here in your life, and that's determined on how you view it. If your perspective is that your life is here, but you want to take it to here, you want to take it to a higher level, the way you recondition your thinking is firstly disattach from some of your beliefs and understand that what you think often isn't your choice. You can decide to change it, but often is a past conditioning. As well as many of the things that you do that you look back on and go, ah, that was so stupid. It's often driven by your survival instincts, your reptilian brain, your upbringing, all those thoughts. And when we understand that, it allows us to disattach from that and change it, which brings us on to step number 2. If you want to recondition, reprogram your mind for greater success, you have to become more aware, become more intentional and mindful about your thinking. You have to begin to observe your thoughts. I love the quote, and I'm paraphrasing here. An intellectual is someone who watches themselves think, who observes their own thoughts. Hence, if you want to be able to recondition your thinking, because we know that, we get told this a lot nowadays, and it's a message that has been shared a lot, which is our thoughts create our actions create our results. If we want to be able to change our thoughts, change how we're conditioned to program ourselves for new higher levels of success, first we need to become aware. We need to become aware of what's driving our thinking and what are we thinking when we're making decisions in our life. When we're choosing to do this over this, what's driving that? We must become psychologists of our own brain and become more aware. Begin to observe ourselves, observe what's going on in our mind, observe ourselves think, and really question. You have a decision or you have a thought, and then you ask yourself, hey, why did I think that? What drove that thought? We need to become more strategic about that, become more mindful. That's step number 2. First one, disassociate, understand many of your beliefs are not your own. You didn't choose many of them, or at least for most people in society, that's how it is. Often they're passed down to them, which gives them the option to change it. Number 2, we must become more intellectual. We must become observers of our own thoughts and become aware. So the reason that awareness is the first step to changing anything. For example, in 12 steps to overcome alcoholism, awareness is step 1. The 5 steps to overcome addiction, awareness, knowing that you have a problem, step 1. And even if you don't have a problem, even if something's good already or great and you just want to make it a little bit better, to change it, to accelerate, to optimize whatever you're doing, it still requires a new awareness. Hence, we must become more aware by observing our own thoughts. We must become psychologists and analysts of our own lives. Why are we doing what we're doing? What's driving our behavior deep down? What's driving it? That's number 2, if you want to be able to reprogram, recondition yourself for greater levels of success. The third one is understanding what shapes new beliefs. And you must observe people around you that are successful at the things you want to become successful at and think, okay, not just what are they doing, what's their action. For example, someone who's fit is spending a lot of time at the gym, not just the action, but you have to go deeper underneath the surface and look, hey, why are they doing that? Why are they going and spending hours at the gym every day? What's their motive? What's driving them? What's keeping them going? How do they think about the gym? What do they focus on? A lot of people, when they talk about the gym, they focus on the sweat and it's going to be annoying and frustrating and the pain and all that. So clearly they're focused on different things. We must look at that and we must adopt those beliefs by understanding how our beliefs are created. All of the beliefs we believe in our lives today, everything we believe comes from and is shaped by evidence. Think of it like a table, and evidence are like the legs. If you only have one piece of evidence to support a certain belief in your mind, that's not a very strong table. If you have multiple legs to stand that table up, now it's a strong belief in your mind. It becomes a conviction, becomes something that you're certain of. For example, if someone goes and they believes that, hey, people are just naturally bad people. They want to steal, they want to cheat, they want to go and piss people off, they want to annoy people. People are just naturally bad. If that's someone's belief, there's a lot of people on this planet that have that belief. The reason they have it isn't because they're bad people. It's simply because during their life experience, they've had events that have helped them reinforce that belief. Someone in their childhood went and did something purely for their own egotistical gain that took away from that person. And they thought to themselves, hey, that person's evil, which means everyone must be evil. And then someone else did it and it formed another leg in the table, created more evidence to support their belief. And then throughout their life, they continued to have all this stuff happen to them and they shaped it, they defined it as, hey, people are evil, and that belief drives a lot of their decisions. They're conditioning themselves for a certain result because they believe a certain thing. If they want to change that, first you must become aware. That's step number 2. And number 3 over here is you have to find the belief you want to create. For example, I want to create the belief that, hey, people are good. Or I'm thinking, hey, should I create that belief? And maybe if you observe successful people and you find that's a recurring theme, meaning this successful person believes this successful person also believes this successful person also believes this, and you see that pattern and you want to shape that in your life, then it comes down to evidence. Evidence is what's going to drive that belief and make it something as certain, a belief, a strong belief in your life. And the way you do that is you go and create and research scenarios of how that can be true. You go and look at people who are doing amazing things, not for their own egotistical extrinsic gain, but rather for their intrinsic love of people, of humanity, of compassion. Beyond that, you go and research other people who are doing amazing things, who also love people. You go and find all of these pieces of evidence to support that new belief, and you go and research it. You research it and you research it, and over time, as you're learning, as you gain new awareness, as you're questioning, anytime anyone's ever changed a belief, it started with often then denying it. They're like, there's no way that's possible. There's no way people think that. But then they had more and more evidence of, hey, this friend that they have believed this and did this, and it formed that belief in their life. And that's how we begin to recondition ourselves for greater levels of success in our health. So we're fit and we're healthy and we're energetic and we have the energy to be able to live an extraordinary life. So we're able to have the relationships and the interactions that we want with people. So we're able to have the financial and economical success that we want. And overall, we're able to have a level of fulfillment and energy in our life. A lot of that, our actions come out of our thoughts, and our thoughts are often come from our beliefs. And we can create new beliefs by first disassociating from them, understand many of the things that you believe, many of the things I believe right now come from my upbringing, come from teachers, come from friends growing up, come from the people around me, come from what I've seen in my life, the books I've read, the video trainings I've watched, the people that I've met. All of that has helped me shape my beliefs. And you could disassociate, meaning you take back control because your decisions create your destiny. Your decisions shape your future. Number one, that's that. Number two, become observant of your thoughts. Start to observe and question why you're doing certain things in your life. If you automatically see yourself getting stressed out about something, you can come back and think, hey, why did I get stressed out about that? Why did that really trigger me? Start to question it. Start to become a psychologist, an analyst of your own brain, because our brain is one of our greatest assets if we use it like that. Because a brain, just like a hammer, can go and create something extraordinary, or it can go and be used to bash someone's skull in. It's a vehicle, it depends on how you use it, gets you either the success, the life you want, or doesn't. Hence how you condition that. So number two, become more aware. Awareness is the first step to changing, to improving, to progressing at anything. Now that's number two. Number three, understand how beliefs work. Beliefs are built on evidence. The more evidence you have to support, the more life scenarios and life stories and other people's stories that you have to support something, the stronger that is of a conviction, and the deeper that belief is part of you and now drives your decisions. And you can begin to shape new beliefs. You can say, hey, right now I definitely don't have the belief that people are good, but my life would be different if I did. Hence, how can I shape this belief? How can I go and meet some amazing charity workers that are doing something out of the good of their own hearts? And that will help redefine your experience of life, and you can begin to recondition like that. Become more observant, become more aware, become more mindful, and start to shape them. You can create beliefs in your life. They're not created for you. You can create them. You have control of it. We have, as species, as humanity, as human beings on this incredible planet, far more control over our success than pretty much anything else. And that's what I've spent the last few years of my life just sharing, many years of my life researching. We have far greater control of our future than we think, because there's so many things that we can control, we can shape, we can mold to create a future and a life we want. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like it. Comment below what you learned from this. What was the one golden nugget of information that you got from this? Comment down below, and then share this out with other people to make sure they're able to get this new awareness so they can create a magnificent life as well. And stay tuned, subscribe, stay tuned, follow for more episodes like this one, all about how do you take anything in your life, any ambition, any dream you have, because I believe that human potential is near boundless, and that's what research continues to show us. There's so much more that we think is impossible, but actually isn't, that ends up being achieved. How do we achieve that? I share some of the latest research, study, strategy, tactics in this show. Stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Accelerated Achievement Show.
Achievement accelerated with the Accelerated Achievement Show.